Hello everyone. Today I am going to teach you how to make this type of bar graph in which you can add multiple bars on one graph. Since we'll be collecting data over the course of several weeks, a total of 4 weeks, it is important to be able to organize all of our graphs onto one big one. And so let's start off. Let me go ahead and delete this so that I can start over. And let me show you how the data is organized so far. And so you have something similar to this in which you have the week 0 conditions. And now I added an extra week, which is week 1. And if you notice here, this is week 1. Also notice that I accidentally used 2 different gray shadings, but I also wanted to show you how to get rid of the shading scheme if you wanted to. Let me go ahead and highlight the area in which I want to get rid of the shading scheme or change the color. All I have to do is press on the button that has the paint bucket and I can choose whatever color I want. So I'm going to switch this to a light green. And this represents light condition. And so I'll do this the same. I'll color it light green. And I'll redo the gray here, but a lighter gray. And so I highlight the area that I want to shade. And here I have a lighter gray. This is a lighter gray as well. Now, if I did not want any color whatsoever, all I have to do is just highlight the area, go back to the paint bucket and put no fill, and you will not have color. But I like the color just because it makes it easier to see. So I'll go back and shade it gray again. Okay, so this is my color scheme. What I want you to do for your data set is create this section here. And this is how you will organize your data for graphing, for easy graphing. So far you have this section and you have like all of this section here, but I want you to add this. And so this will represent the averages of each. And so you'll have light and shade on the left-hand side, and you'll have week 0, week 1, week 2, and week 3. So as we collect data week per week, we can just add the averages right in here. And I want you to add this tab here, t-test and two-tailed p-value. You will learn about this in class. This is basically comparing two means and seeing if they are statistically significant. But we haven't learned that just yet, so don't worry about filling out the answers here. We just want to make sure we have these tabs available. All right, so how do I fill this in? So far I have week 0, and then this is fictitious week 1. We are going to be collecting week 1 when we see each other in class the next time, but this all here is fictitious information. I just made all of this up for the sake of this video. What I want to do is add the average from week 0. This is week 0 light. And so all I have to do is copy. So I press Command C or Control C, and then Command V or Control C and paste. Oops, I don't know why that happened. If you notice issues, so let me try one more time. Let me copy and paste. If you notice issues, it's because notice how this is D13 to D18. It's not letting me copy. I think it's just kind of manually doing stuff for me. So if that's the case, if it just doesn't let you copy easily, what you want to do is just manually input it. So I'm going to write in 25.4 for the light condition week 0, and then 20.0 for the shade condition week 0. And then week 1, again, this is fictitious. This is for the sake of this video. And so I have light 31.0 and shade, I have 23.1. All right, 23.1. And so if I want to make a bar graph with multiple bars, all I have to do, and this is because this is arranged in such a way. So notice this is light and shade, week 0 and week 1. So all I have to do now, simply because it's arranged this way, is highlight the area that I'm interested in, press Insert, and then add the bar graph. So I press the very first one, and notice how it's all arranged for me, even in order for week 0 and week 1. And so I'll want to add an x-axis in which I add a chart element. Then I do an axis title. So I want to do a vertical one. And in the vertical title, I want to write plant height, since this is plant height in centimeters. Okay. Plant height, centimeters. All right, so I have that set up. I want to get rid of the title up here, delete that. I don't like the grid lines personally, so I want to delete that too. And now notice that I need to add the error bars. And so there's a certain way in order for you to add the error bars. And I'm going to add the error bars as standard error. And so error bars represent the standard error. Okay. So when I highlight the bars, notice that the first blue one and the second blue one is highlighted. So that means that I have to add the error bars according to what bars are highlighted. So if I was to take the standard error, I need to go to week 0. So blue represents light. And so I go to week 0, light is 1.5. And then I go to week 1, light is 2.1. And so now what I want to do is, oops, I have to make sure both are highlighted. So let me get out of this. I have to make sure both are highlighted. If both are not highlighted, it will not work. So I have both highlighted. I go to chart design, to the very left, add chart element. I click on it, add error bars, scroll down to more error bar options, click on it, press custom, specify my value. And in this case, my value is 1.5 and 2.1 because both blue are highlighted, both represent light, and both represent week 0 and week 1. And so then I go ahead and manually put it in, which is 1.5, 2.1. Whatever I do to the top, I also do to the bottom. And so I copy and paste it to the bottom, press OK. There are my error bars. Notice how I only have error bars for the blue. So now I have to press the orange. I add chart element, go to error bars, add more error bar options, custom, specify value, and then I go ahead and add the standard error for the shade condition, which is 1.3 and 1.9. And so I go ahead and type in 1.3, 1.9, copy and paste whatever I do to the top, also to the bottom, press OK, and there you have it. I have my error bars, custom made error bars. Now, every single week, you're going to include new data. And so you can do one more additional thing. So now that I showed you how to make these bar graphs, which look great, let's say next week, right? We add more data. So I'm going to make this up for now. Let's say next week, the week 2, so this is the third week, we have like 30, I'm going to put 39.4 and 26.2. So I'm making this up, or 0.3, doesn't matter. I'm making this up, right? So notice here that when I click on this, all of this is highlighted. If I want to add these two numbers here, this bar, all I have to do is drag it. Notice how I drag it and it's automatically added. But then I have to do the error bars again. I have to manually re-input them, which is fine. But see how I can easily drag it. And so let's say I have week 3 now, and week 3 is like 44.7 and 31.2. I'm making this up again. I highlight the chart. I notice the area that is part of the chart is highlighted. If I want to add the 4th bar, all I have to do is drag it. And so I have to make sure that this drag icon is showing up. And then I drag it to the right. And there you go. It adds my 4th column. And so pretty much the information will stay the same within the caption. The one thing that will be updated is the statistics. So you'll have like week 0 statistics, week 1, week 2, week 3, but we'll talk about how to add statistics in the class. So make sure before you come to class that you have this type of organization to be ready to be able to make a chart such as the one I'm showing you now, okay? So really your job is to make this section here. And also to add like another week 1, week 2, week 3, you know, update all of this as well. If you want your life to be easier in lab this week, the sooner you know this, the easier it'll be for you to make these graphs when we are in class. All right, I'll see you this week.